Well, hello again folks, and I hope you're all still keeping well out there. It's a lovely, crisp spring morning, and it's just after breaking first light. I have my hide already built and set up in the usual place, and I'm setting out a dead rabbit for bait, hoping to attract some hooded crows, as the farmer who owns this bit of hill ground has just started his lambing. I do have a dead crow with me I could use as a decoy, but decided not to set it out this morning, as I think the crows in the area are starting to catch on to that little trick. For the newcomers to the channel, crows have a bad reputation for pecking the eyes out of newborn or sickly lambs. Now I haven't seen it myself, but I have seen plenty of full-grown sheep with one of their eyes pecked out, after they've got stuck on their back, heavily pregnant and unable to defend themselves. Though they usually do survive the ordeal if the farmer can find them in time. As usual, I have my little CZ527 Varmint chambered in 17 Hornet using a 20 grain Vmax hand loads. The scope is a Meopta 4-16 by 44 tactical, which I have mounted a Tacticam 5.0 and FTS unit to film through the scope. And the moderator is a 17 caliber Wildcat Panther. Now, it was a relatively quiet morning compared to other days I've been up here, and it must have been over 2 hours before anything showed. Thankfully though, this little thrush kept me quite entertained watching it pull the sheep wool out from the dry stone wall to help lag its nest with. Thankfully though, just as I was starting to give up hope, a bird finally appeared. Well, at least we got something for the long wait. Now, since I couldn't hear or see any other crows nearby, I decided to go out and set that one up as a decoy, and hopefully pull in another one or two. Steady on, old boy. What do you think them big feet's for? Keep you upright. Careful now, baby steps. You don't want to bruise the family allowance this time. A good bit more time has passed by now, but I can hear a hooded crow in the background, which is encouraging. Plus our little thrush is back. And no, don't even think about writing that. Keep the comments clean, okay? That crow definitely seen the decoy and bait, but it landed in a tree somewhere in my far left where I couldn't see. Thankfully though, after a bit of a wait, it finally dropped down in and landed in one of the fence posts on the far right corner of the screen. Not the best bit of camera work, but you can just about see it. Oh, that's not right. And that's even worse. What on earth happened there?
Oh, unlucky crow.
I have fired hundreds of rounds through this rifle, and that's the first time it's ever failed to feed a round out of the magazine into the chamber. Not once, but twice. I've just had a wee chat with the farmer, who's just finished his tour of the hill this morning, and we both decided it'd probably be a good opportunity to change the decoy spread about a bit, as the crows always seem to be more active once he leaves the hill. Not surprising, as he's managed to shoot one or two himself this year. So I set the dead crow I brought with me this morning out as a decoy with the rest of them. He also showed me quite a gruesome picture of a lamb that had been pecked to death by 4 ravens, while it was still half inside the ewe. She was so exhausted with a difficult birth, she hadn't energy to even protect herself or the lamb. But ravens are protected in the UK, so I can't really do anything for him, unfortunately. Thankfully though, there's no problem with shooting hooded crows to protect livestock, and hardly 10 minutes after the farmer left, one landed up in the little tree to the left of the screen. Not what I would call a safe shot for a centrefire, but thankfully after about 5 minutes it dropped down to the ground. Pop goes the weasel or what? The little 17 Hornet doesn't usually blow them apart like that, but there's no such thing as over dead. After some time, another crow appeared from the right hand side and landed up in the little tree. But just as I thought, oh, we might get 3 here, it took off almost as quick as it landed. Then, after a bit more of a wait, either it or another bird returned from the left hand side, circled round and landed on I was going to say a telegraph pole, but it's actually a fence post. A big strainer, hey. Well, I don't think you could say that was a misfire. Too right, hey, you knocked the fluff clean off him. And that makes 3. Oh, that's a good thing you can count, hey. Them school years were well spent. Oh. What's the plums there, young fella? Would you be quiet? I'm trying to do a voiceover here. What are you worried about? You're bottled out of it anyway. Well, that was a long wait for 3 crows. I was coming up to set them 2 up as decoys, but the wee 17 Hornet was a bit curse on them. That they weren't fit for decoys, so I had to lift them out the road. But the weather's changed, the hills got very dark looking and the rain started. So I'm going to get packed up and get out of here because I've already got soaked once this week. But as I said, that was a brave long wait, but I managed to get 3 birds out of it. One that was very lucky, if I could get a chance of getting to buy me a lottery ticket, because I pulled the trigger on him twice and got an empty chamber twice. For some reason the rifle didn't pick a round up from the magazine. Oh well, things like that happen, I suppose. Right, I'm getting out of here and getting this packed up before I get wet. Cheerio, folks. Well folks, that's the end of another one. Just the 3 this time, but that's the way it goes at times. I hope you enjoyed it, and sorry about the wee silly voice. I sort of got a wee bit bored halfway through narrating that. But until next time, take care and look after yourselves, you boy, ye.